happened. Suppose this time yesterday evening, a serious. I wouldn't really call it an incident. That attempted, I suppose, attempted stabbing. So I would say, not really an incident. I don't think we would call it an incident. Or the media and things. I probably called it an incident last night. But at the moment, we don't really know too much. There's kind of been a lot said about it, but so thankfully, you seen a few minutes ago, I put up the Anglo South basically I mentioned. So the local media finally, nearly a day later, have finally said something about it, about what happened in Cavan Town last night. So thankfully, nobody. The good grace this is that nobody was injured, nobody was killed. Thankfully, we most likely the weapon that was used, or the weapon that was used by the suspect, was a machete or a large knife, as far as we can gather. As far as what we have looked into, it seemed to be a large knife or machete. So obviously something very, very dangerous, which, if God forbid, it hit the person that done this attack, hit a person or stabbed the person, the chances were very likely the person would die. But thankfully, that didn't materialize. Thankfully, so thankfully that hasn't happened. And obviously the suspect has just appeared, I suppose, in the last hour or two in the district court here in Cavan. So we have to see what happens there. We don't really know much else. There's not really any footage. I think the Gardaí have CCTV footage, as far as I can gather. The CCTV footage they have from 3 or 4 shops. They've looked for CCTV footage and stuff. None of it's surfaced online yet, so I presume the guards have confiscated that. And are using it as kind of evidence, I presume, because there's not really anything else. But I suppose it's not really been. Well, the good thing about it is that the local media have said something about it. Well, hello, Sean. First of all, sorry, in the flow there we're talking, but so I presume that as the weeks go on, we probably will see more about it and things like that. Because as far as I can gather, there's been a good bit of CCTV taken by An Garda Síochána O'Connor as evidence. In terms of the person, because obviously the big knife he was carrying around. But we should see what happens anyway. But the one saving grace here is that nobody was killed. Thankfully, nobody was killed and nobody was injured. That's the main thing. That nobody was killed and injured. Nobody was injured. No injuries or nothing. Everything. Thankfully, nothing happened. There was people. He did attempt to hit or stab somebody. We know that as a fact. A few people ran away from him and stuff like that. But so thankfully, no, that's the saving grace here. It was nothing like what happened in Dublin. But we do know it was either a machete or a large knife. So, thankfully nothing. It would have done serious damage if something happened, like if he hit somebody with that. So, hello, Chapel. But we don't really know anything else at the moment. I've been talking to a few people. They seen people running last night when the pub. So 1 or 2 people I was talking to, when the pub and they seen people running, things like that. Just actually after you told me about it, Chapel, last night, you were the first person to tell me that something was happening. There was very little information coming through, but an hour later or so, it kind of all filtered through about what happened and what was going on. So that's we kind of basically, but I presume it's not somebody from Cavan, as far as I can gather. We don't really have any evidence to. We don't really know much at the moment about who the person was. We know he had a large knife. He was a male, and he's tracked these. We don't know much more. I've looked about the vast people about it. We don't really have much, like where was he, whereabouts in the town was he living, what was the story, etc., etc., etc. We don't know yet. So I suppose it's just kind of waiting and seeing what more comes out, because in the days to come we'll probably hear more. Now, obviously, I've heard a bit more too, but which is unconfirmed too, that there was somebody hanging around the town Friday and stuff. But we don't know. We don't know was the person behind it. Was that him? We don't even know the name of the person. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't really see somebody going around with, especially because it's not as like an ordinary pocket knife or something like that. All reports going, it seemed to be machete or a large knife. So it wasn't just an ordinary pocket knife you would have for cutting a fishing line or something like that. It was something big. But the main thing we have to be thankful for, that nobody was hurt. As I say, I can't speculate. We just don't know at the moment. We know he's in these tragedies. We know nothing really much. Nobody really seems to know where he's from, what made him do, But there's no really videos or photos, Like I know the Gardaí have confiscated some CCTV and stuff like that. So that's the only thing we don't have any video from a person on the street saying this person's running rampant or something like that. Like like compared to what happened in Dublin, we could, the suspect's face was shown in a photo take, for example. Um, if that makes any sense. So we can't really speculate on that. If that makes any sense. It's just because you don't want to be putting out the wrong information and saying sorry, I'm wrong and stuff like that. You want to try and be accurate. What you're saying. You don't want to mislead people. But thankfully, again, as I said, the Anglo South and the local media finally, and a day later, have finally said something. Because the one thing I've heard and I've been talking to people, there's a few people I know actually went into town at they're having the Christmas party at the moment at one of the pubs in the town. And the thing that's been said a lot at the moment. Sorry, but that's sorry. What was that? So yeah, there was one person I know. A few people are actually going to a Christmas party tonight, and the one thing that's been said constantly, the last few hours, is Cavan Town safe at the moment? A lot of people are worried. Uh, so that's I never heard that in all the years I've been around Cavan. Is the town safe at the moment? So that's frightening to hear when you hear people saying that, because especially because majority of my life and stuff, not much has happened to Cavan. There's been incidents, of course, but nothing really compared to what happened last night. But again, all reports going to that the Gardaí were quick enough to act. In fairness to the Guards, they were quick enough to respond, as far as I can gather. That there was a large Garda presence after what happened last night. There was a large Garda presence on the streets of Calvin last night too, because a lot of people reported too there was a lot of activity from the Guards on the beach and then patrol cars and stuff. Uh, so that's as much as I know. To be totally honest, I don't want to be saying much more. There's some other stuff some people have told me, but I can't confirm. But if I know anything about it, I let you know if I can get confirmation on what's happening. Uh, but yeah, uh, but yeah, let's see. Uh, but going like the armed support unit. Obviously, there's a armed support unit based in Cavan, and obviously the guy where this incident took place was around Duns, up the top of the town there, around where the old convent used to be. Um, and as far as I can gather, the guards were quick enough to, and obviously the armed support unit is an armed unit in Cavan. They were quick enough to deal with it. Uh, but again, you know, just trying to see. So that's basically all we know at the moment. We don't really know too much more, to be totally honest. And I can't really say much more because I can't confirm or deny, or I can't basically say. I don't know, to be totally honest, what's true and what's. I know what's true, that there has been a person arrested. He's in his threaties. He had a large knife and stuff. I know it took place around 8, but the rest is kind of all blur. There's kind of speculation and stuff like that. But you know, it's hard to know what's true and what's right and what's the truth and stuff. But we will know in the next few days. Obviously, time will tell. What happened. Um, so yeah, sorry, tea and biscuits. Sorry, excuse me for that. Tea and biscuits. Apologies for that. Yeah, given the way I see, I don't know at the moment what's the story with that. Um, we probably should be giving away, saying usually, but I suppose we will know more in the next few days because obviously it will be um, more set. Let's put that way. So at the moment we can't I suppose we can't speculate who it is. But I think a few people have a good idea who it is. But we simply don't know, to be totally honest. So I can just tell you what I know. If that makes any sense. I don't mean to be, you know, be forward, but you can't really just, state, this, that, no, that makes any sense. But we simply don't know. But hopefully in the next few days we will know. Why the reason why? First of all, why did he want to go around wielding the machete around the main streets of the town? We find that out soon. Time will tell. But as I say, the one saving grace is nobody was killed, and that's the main thing, and nobody was injured. People were frightened, of course, but nobody was seriously injured or killed. And that's the main thing here. That's the main thing that nobody. But there's always going to be. Unfortunately, this is the next thing that we don't know. Tomorrow, next week, there could be another one of these. Tomorrow, in an hour's time, 5 minutes time, there could be another one in any part of the county. We simply do not know. And it's just the same thing as the same time and time again for the last few months. Cavan's got a lot more dangerous. And we do have to try and do something as quick as possible to try and remedy that. Let's put it that way. Because as I even just take for example the last week alone, I was going to make a video on this, but I'm making it in due course. There's been 30 burglaries in the county, which is a lot. So there's obviously an organised gang going around burgling houses and stuff like that. There's been an incident down near Breffney Park in the house there. You've probably seen it's all over the local news. But crime has basically gone up. It's kind of out of control at the moment, and especially with this incident, it's kind of reinforced that. But we have to try and, particularly, we have to try and talk about these things. We can't just brush it under the carpet, because a lot of stuff in Cavan has been pushed under the carpet. There was an incident about 2 months ago. We still don't know too much about it. There's loads of rumours and talk and stuff like that, but there's nothing to confirm. What happened there too. We know there was a serious incident. We know that. We know where it took place. We know that. We know that the Gardaí look must see the investigations ongoing, but we don't know much more. To be totally honest with you, like I've heard many stories and stuff. One of the stories I've heard seems to be true, rings true, but again, I can't really confirm that it is true because it's not been officially confirmed at the end of the day. And you couldn't, and to be totally honest, I say this straight to people, you couldn't rely on a Garda Síochána Conor to tell you the truth. You simply couldn't. You simply couldn't rely on Garda Síochána Conor to tell you what's happened, why it's happened, etc., etc., etc. They kind of just cover it up and push it underneath the carpet, and pretend that everything's fine. You know yourself. But I can't say this enough too. I said it many times here the last 15 minutes. It's a miracle nobody was killed. Thankfully nobody was killed and nobody was seriously injured. And we just had to be very thankful for that. Because it was a frightening experience for a lot of people having that happening. In such a small, well, not a small town, but in such a rural part of the country. It's a very frightening experience, especially during Christmas time too. People going shopping. There's more people around the town too, because of the shopping and stuff like that. But yeah, so I don't know. So that's all I know. So I don't know. Yeah, I said hello to Sean. Sorry, there's been 100. I was too busy yapping there for 5 minutes. So. But thank you, if Chop was still here, I don't know if he's still here, but thank you for letting me know last night. You were the first person to let me know that something was happening. And then obviously a few people after that told me it was starting to come out at that stage that something happened. So it happened just a bit after 8 o'clock or so. Yes, even. Now that was, I don't know what time that was last night, but, But if I hear any more, I let you know. But at the moment, you know yourself, when something like this happens, especially with Garda Síochána O'Connor, you couldn't rely on them to tell you anything, you know, let's put that way. Because time and time again, you know, you look for stuff from Garda Síochána O'Connor, and they say it's up to the Garda press office to tell you stuff, and they just kind of flock it off and say, you know, we're not going to tell you. Because I can't tell you the amount of times people have looked for stuff, and I've been involved with cases and stuff, and the Garda, you say, no, it's up to the Garda, you have to go to the Garda press office, we're not allowed to tell you. You know, it's up to the Garda press office, they just block you off. And then the next thing they always use when something like this happens, oh, there's an ongoing investigations, we can't tell you anything. You know, that's what they use. So, yeah, it's a tough one now when these things happen. So, yeah, the biggest kind of a gang in the country, I got to know. But again, I don't want the one of the guards down here, but they done well in getting the person yesterday. Let's put that way. I will give them credit where credit's due. It must have been a difficult situation to see what. So I'm not going to run them down and say, you know, because it takes guts now to approach somebody with a large knife and stuff, you know. If that makes any sense. I know I'm probably giving the Gardaí too much credit here. But yeah, but that's basically all I know at the moment. As I say, I let people know if I hear any more. I update you on the community tab over from Alive. I let you know. But yeah. So we'll see what happens. Because I say there will be CCTV footage will leak online and stuff like that, and it show the full extent of what happened, and the suspect, etc., etc. But the one thing I didn't get, I suppose, with this, I was looking for phone footage, like from only people. Like if somebody's seen something happening, the first reaction of people nowadays is to take out your phone and to record what happened. I know people would have been running away, but you know, even people in shops and stuff like that, or even in the restaurant and stuff, I've seen people with a post with a knife, or and the first thing you take out your phone and you record it. You know, there's none of that footage seems to be online as far as I can gather, because we've looked for it and there's nothing really of that, you know. But anyway. Oh, so it's we all know what's the problem anyway. That's the main thing. That's all I say for the moment. But so yeah, we won't be that long tonight anyway. Too, we're just kind of chill for tonight. Yeah, like just going back to Gizmo. Sorry, I know we was too busy talking for a long time now. Yeah, crime has gone up across the whole country, not just in Cavan, but I'm just saying on a local level in Cavan here that it's you know you can see 30 burglaries in 1 week, and not even counting probably this week. It's probably been another 30. You know, uh, there was 30 last week. You know, that's a lot of burglaries just for a small county like Cavan. And then if you take in Mead maybe, and then you take in what's common and all that, you like maybe have 100 or 100 something burglaries. And you might just say that's not the worst crime and stuff like that, but take for example, you know, there was an incident. There was a house burgled and a safe was taken near Breffney Park there in County Cavan, just outside Cavan Town near Trattamouth there. Um, and the one thing that annoys me here is they had a daughter that died at a young age, and they had in the safe. I don't think they care about the money or anything that was in the safe, but the one thing they want back is the things that belonged to a daughter that died a few years ago. Basically no money can replace them items that the daughter used to have, and the only thing they have to remember her by. And these people took it. The people that broke their house and took it. Like you know, the biggest scumbags you can come across. The people that took the brooch and you know, the necklace off the deceased daughter, you know, the worst, lowest people you could find who would do such a thing. So hopefully they do. They haven't got it yet. They haven't received it yet. But I would, as I said it on my community tab. I would appeal to them if they have any kind of decency at all. These people who took the safe, to just live at their house, the place, the bracelet and stuff. Like they can take the money and stuff, but just for that, that's all they care about. The family, they just want that back. That thing back. They don't care about anything else. They just want that back, and it's a sin to see that happen. The people that done this, they should not be treated well. Let's put it that way if they're caught. It's simple as that. It's the biggest scumbag of thing you could do, basically, to a family. And usually wouldn't use that strong language, but it's beyond words why somebody would do such an evil thing. And that's just putting it straight. But yeah, Sean, I was trying to get in touch with you the last while about your Christmas car, too. Your car's extended warranty. We were trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty, but we couldn't get through to you, unfortunately. You owe 100 billion euro to the local authority here. So, big up the money joking. But yeah, email me and we send you a card, because we have cards there to send you. So yeah, it's crazy now what's happened. So let's see now. I just wanted to see in case there's any other messages or anything, because it was an ongoing thing last night. There was messages coming in about different things, and there was a few people ringing me and stuff like that. So basically, it was just kind of, you were told things when you were there and stuff. But having people known for carrying machetes and knives around, I don't know about that, but it's something that I never seen in Cavan. Like I never seen this kind of stuff happen. So time will tell, I suppose, who done it and why he done it. Like there was, I will say this, but it's not confirmed to them. Just to say, there's a few people saying he had mental issues, so he used quite for help. I heard that before. He was in the mental ward in Cavan General Hospital. I can't confirm that. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. That's just been speculation I've heard. It could be true, could be false. I'm not going to say it's true. I'm not going to say it's false because I don't know myself. That's what I heard. Somebody told me that he was in the mental health ward underneath the ground in Cavan General Hospital. It's not confirmed, basically. That is the case. Or it's the same person or whatever. But but all intentions, all evidence at the moment suggests he wasn't from Cavan anyway. But we just don't know. That's you get what I'm saying. I can't say for certain, Sean. I would love to just be here now and say, yeah, it's this person. He done it. He's from this place. He's done it because of this. I'd love to just basically tell you straight now what has happened. But it's the fact that we don't know ourselves. Nobody seems to know around Cavan. What I'm trying to say. Like everything I know, I've told that is true and stuff like that. I've said. And everything that I've heard and said, I've said about it. Allegedly, you know what I'm saying. Like I'm sure you know yourself, Sean. I love to tell you, but I don't know to be doing. I love to. If I knew I would tell, I would say it here, but I don't know. That's to be totally honest with you. But anyway, but we find out sooner or later. As I say, they have CCTV footage and stuff. If that CCTV footage gets released or anything like that, we'll be able to know then. Or if it gets into there might be a picture of it in the paper. Who knows? because usually when there's a court case, they usually take a picture of the person will have the name of the person in point of the angles. That's what I. Um, but yeah, what about on another subject, Sean? What about your Christmas card? Hmm? What about your Christmas card? Let me see. Just there's that much stuff happening these days. It's hard to keep track of it. What is this now? Something to do with I don't know. I find out, but I don't know. I don't even know what that's showing at the moment. Something to do with a sewage pipe or something like that. I don't know. It might be underground water pipe. Something. I don't like. See, it's too much happening nowadays in uh, in the world. Like it's far too much for my brain to comprehend. I might tell everybody straight. We're living in dangerous times. We just simply don't know what can happen day from day, and that's just simple as that. Um, yeah. Me bickies and stuff like that. I didn't really want me bickies, but I got me bickies anyway. Christmas bickies. Might have one, but I'm not gonna have them all. Because I'd be actually I put up me. I should probably put a picture up on my tree and stuff like that. We'll probably do that at some point there. I put it up in the community post. But yeah, actually I probably not. I wait until after the stream because it'd be bad manners to kind of eat on stream. It'd be very bad manners. It'd be not the right thing to do. Let's put it that way. But yeah, how is everybody else doing anyway? I know I've went on for a long time. But yeah, it was just something I had to say and I had to get off my chest. If that makes any sense. Hello, Cara Obama. How are you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you. How are you doing? Happy Christmas to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Saturday. I nearly said something there for a second. We're out Saturday just the same. What has happened, Andy? Peek out. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Saturday, excuse me. Apologies. It's apparently Sunday. Isn't it great? Always Sundays. But it's good to see you. How are you doing? How's things anyway? Are you looking forward to Christmas? It's, what day is Christmas on? It's Monday, isn't it? Yeah, Monday. So, I don't take notifications without too, but I know. Have a bit more of my tea. Oh, so just randomly, I know this is off topic and stuff like that. But basically, I have a long ass holiday. Let's put it that way for Christmas. I'm getting worse than the TDs and the dog, to be totally honest. So basically, I have from this Wednesday coming right. So I have the work Wednesday to the 15th of January. I don't have to be back to. So basically, I nearly have 4 weeks or 5 weeks holiday at Christmas. So it's insane. Hello, Greenface. How are you doing? The gang. Oh no, first time ever. Probably good. Oh, Jesus, very good. Well, hope you're enjoying making it. I love to be able to cook stuff, recipes and stuff, but I simply would make a balls of. Excuse my language, but literally I would. Because you have to be perfect. Well, not so much to be on the dot every time, but if you put too much of this in, you might not make it the best way. But you know, especially reading, I would be terrible just reading recipe books and stuff like that. Like poor Gordon Ramsay probably have a fit if he's seen me. Uh, interesting. No, just looking at stuff on Twitter here. So yeah, sorry, there's not much hype at the moment. I suppose what happened last night, you know, a lot of people in Cavan at the moment are kind of very concerned. Very nervous would be the word to use. And in deep thought about different things, let's put it that way. So, it's kind of been a wake up call, particularly for a lot of people in the county. But we see what happens. To say, but we have to see. But we obviously a lot of questions. A lot of members of the public are asking questions at the moment from the local councils, the local TDs. They're not very happy. Let's put it that way. Anybody injured? No, thankfully not. Nobody was injured. That's the one saving grace about it. But what, as I said earlier on, this is the sad reality that we don't know in another hour's time would somebody else go into the town and do it. We simply do not know. Basically, what I'm trying to say is not as safe. Helen McAtee says it's a safe country and stuff like that. But I could say maybe 10 years ago that it wouldn't happen in Cavan. It wouldn't happen. But I to be totally honest, with the way it's gone now, I just have to simply say it can happen at any point, anywhere in the county, and even a small village, a small town in Cavan, it can happen. Simple as that. It's just we simply do not know who our neighbours are anymore. It's simple as that. We just simply do not know. And it's not far away to that. It's literally common sense at this stage that stuff was happening, and things have gone into basically crazy world. 1984, excuse me, world. You have to put two and two together and just kind of say, when it's enough is enough. Basically, that's what I like. But the one, as I said, the one saving grace is nobody was killed, nobody was injured. That's what I was afraid of last night when I was officially told about it. When I was told about it first, I was afraid somebody was the same as what happened in Dublin, that there was members of the public killed, innocent members of the public stabbed and stuff. But thankfully, that didn't materialise. Thankfully, because it'd be a different tune now if it did happen. Because it wouldn't be able to hide the best. The local media on Gardish and Condor couldn't basically sweep it under the carpet. So I don't know. But as I was saying earlier on too, I hate to be going. I know a lot of people probably would want to hear what I have to say about them and stuff. Like the first, as I said earlier on, I know it was interrupted a bit because they were bringing me up chocolate bickies. But yeah, even the few people I know were going into a Christmas party tonight in one of the pubs in the town. They were even saying to me, "Is the town safe?" And that's the first time, literally, in my life, I've literally heard people start saying that. Is Cavan Town safe to go to? And that's bone chills you to the core because I never heard it before. Is the town safe to go into to do Christmas shopping, to go to the pub? And there's probably a lot of anxiety at the moment. Is it safe? Particularly for young women. There's a lot. Like I was in the town Friday morning. Yeah, I was in the courthouse, in the council office though. And particularly at 1 o'clock, I left around 1 o'clock and so. Friday we went out to Bad Hobart. When I was walking Friday. there's a lot, as you know, schools in Cavan, the secondary schools particularly, they finish at 1 o'clock on a Friday, and there was a lot of young people hanging around. A lot of young people around, um, and and you have to wonder is that especially a lot of young teenagers and stuff. Um, you know what I'm saying. Particularly what happened in Dublin. It's a wake up call that it could happen. Simple as that. And the sad reality is that I can't sit here and say to people, the people of Cavan. I hate to be fear-mongering, but I have to say the truth. That I simply cannot sit here and say the town is safe. Definitely, some parts of the town got extremely dangerous. Uh, and in the majority of the county, I would say people have to be on alert when they're going about their business, to be aware of what's around, to be aware of the surroundings. Um, because it is dangerous. It's uncertain what could happen. And I hate to say that, but you have to advise people to be cautious if you are in particularly the main town or in different parts of the county, just to be cautious. Because I have to just say it straight. But hello everyone, sorry, I just had to say that to people too. Because especially last night too, we had no confirmation from Gardish and no confirmation from anybody that they got the person that was with the knife. People were afraid in the town, they were afraid to go out and stuff. Because they didn't know was he arrested, but he's still running around the town with a knife. Nobody knew, there was no confirmation. The only confirmation came there at 8 o'clock this evening that the Gardaí had arrested somebody. At the time, we didn't know, there was no statement from a Garda. And the one thing I say too, the Gardaí should have released the statement straight away in the town, and the Garda press office, even if they did, to release the statement and put it on OT. What I know people say OT and stuff, but at least that would have stopped a good bit of fear from last night. Because the reason why everybody knew about it, and this is the thing, wasn't from the local media or on Garda Sín O'Connor. It was from social media. That's how I found out. Social media. Only for that, nobody would have knew. There's people I was talking to here, around Buttersbridge here, and I said about it. I briefly talked to them about it and said about it. And they didn't know anything about it. As simple as that, they didn't know anything about it because they're not on social media and stuff like that. And they hadn't got a clue. So basically, it was only by word of mouth or on social media people found out. And that's simply not good enough. And I have to say straight, it's simply not good enough, and it's not acceptable that that wasn't done. That they didn't say, the Gardaí didn't release a statement straight away saying there was an incident, that arrested the person, the person's in custody. We have this individual, we have the knife. There's no longer a threat to the public in the town. But that didn't happen. That didn't materialize. As far as I'm aware, there was no statement released. I was looking for statements. I was looking for different things, but there was nothing. There was nothing said, and that was totally wrong. It's the same with the incident in the town a few months ago. Radio silence, and that there's been a few hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours from them said, but basically the Gardaí have said nothing since. And it's simple as that, and it's unacceptable. That they're basically just pushing people away and not telling anybody. And it's all this secrecy and quietness and stuff like that. It puts a bad taste in people's mouth. And puts a lack of trust in An Garda Sín O'Connor. Simple as that. Because the Gardaí are not being open with members of the public to say, what's happening and what they did, and particularly last night too. They should have done things and they didn't. As simple as that. Like as I say, straight away they should have released the statement saying, we have the person, etc., etc. But there was nothing released. That's what I'm saying. So, that's just my view on it. But because again, there was not literally no news article last night. You think the Anglo South or Northern Sound would have put a news article up last night saying, the Gardaí have the suspect, he's in custody at the moment. There's no threat at the moment to members of the public, etc., etc. But the fact that that wasn't done, and I can't get over that, and that's the thing I'd say, that wasn't done at least. It's I know I'm probably getting very whiz over it, but it's not right what's happened. It's not right what the establishment's doing and stuff like that. And particularly they're going to try and push it underneath the cap. We all know it, that they're going to try and shove it away. So we have to see what happens. But definitely, I said this before, and I said a few weeks ago. The one thing that needs to happen in County Cavan is there needs to be more engagement with the community on crimes and stuff. There needs to be more basically openness when Gardaí in the Colorado in the town. Uh, there has to be communication with community groups and stuff. There's to be communication. Even with members of the public, just to communicate. Like sitting there and saying nothing in the guards' barracks is not helping anybody. It's not advising members of the public what's happening and things like that. And it's not good enough. As simple as that. And particularly too, I was expecting some councillor or one of the TDs to come out with a statement last night saying, there was a terrible incident in the town last night, etc., etc., etc. You know, there was nothing at all from any of this. Basically, radio silence, and it's definite. It's definite radio silence, because this is the thing you have to be. It'd probably be the main thing talked about in every pub in Cardiff at the moment, in every restaurant at the moment. It's the main topic. It is the main topic, even though it should be probably on RT. But again, RT will cover it. But because it is a big thing. Because we could, and the reality is we could have been faced with a huge amount of casualties last night. If it did happen, and we have to just say that straight, that it could have happened, and that's the frightening part. But yeah, I'm sorry I'm going on a bit of a tangent about it, but you kind of have to say stuff. The thing about people in Cavan too, people are too afraid, and they have to stop being afraid when it comes to these incidents and stuff. They're afraid to speak their mind. Like even on Facebook there, people are saying stuff, and they're afraid to say it in person and stuff like that. But we have to kind of speak up and say, because it's our county, it's our town, it's our county town and stuff like that. And particularly to the politicians and councillors and TDs, and to even the higher ups in the Gardaí and the Connacht, that this is not good enough, that what's happened at the moment in the county. And there needs to be more heavy-handed approach and a better approach to dealing with crime, and to make sure that these things don't happen. Like, again, I understand the guards can't be everywhere, I understand that. But, there needs to be something done. There needs to be an end to this. Let's put that way. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But as I say, we don't know the nationality of the person at the moment. But when we find out, we'll talk a bit more about that. We don't know at the moment the nationality. We know he's in these treaties. We don't really know too much more. There'll be probably more information soon about it. But we don't know yet. There's no official confirmation. I could speculate here, but there's no official confirmation, yet on what it is. But it's just the thing. It happened in Dublin a few weeks ago. Now it's happening in Cavan. Where else is it going to happen next? That's what you need to ask yourself. It's the fact that the society's got extremely dangerous nowadays, and I have to say that straight. People are afraid to walk to the shops, letting no one go anywhere else. And particularly, I'm very afraid, I mentioned earlier on, I'm very afraid about young people in the town, particularly secondary school kids, leaving school and stuff like that. I'm very afraid, and national school children too, I'm afraid that something could happen now. And I suppose that's the main concern of many parents now tonight, putting their children to bed in the county, that it can happen. And people said to me before, things like this will never happen in Cavan and stuff like that. And it materialised, I've said it before. But it's only when something happens people talk about it. Like, bad as that is, when something does happen, it's the only way people start talking about things. It's the only way for people to say, this isn't what's going on, shouldn't be happening. Let's put it that way. Thanks, Aaron, only. But yeah, sorry, I just have a lot to get out at the moment. A lot to say and stuff like that. But particularly, as I say, it was, it's just the fact I keep going back to, that it could happen again. That's as simple as that. With no guarantee that not couldn't. It might happen in a week's time, months, years time, and next time it might not be. We might be not so fortunate that nothing happened. Nobody was injured or killed. So, but but yeah, I'm sorry about all and everybody. I know people probably saying you're literally going on a tangent here. But it does have to be said. And it has to be said. Now I will say they have upped their game a bit. The Guards of the town, particularly, they are patrolling a lot more. The last few months about the town of the squad cows and stuff like that. But at the same time, that's not good enough. They need to have men on the ground and women on the ground patrolling the streets of the town at night on foot. Because you see more on foot than you would in the car. And in fairness, they are doing that during the day, but I don't know about night time. I haven't seen the guard walk around the town at night time and stuff like that. But there definitely has to be an extra guard presence every night from now on in the town. Either be the armed support unit and around or whatever. Because we do have members of the armed support unit in Cavan, and we might as well make use of them if they are in the county. And I know they have other engagements and stuff. I know there's other threats the county faces at the moment, particularly with what happened in Ballyconnor there a few years ago with the Quinn Industrial Holdings and stuff. The trouble down there. I know they have to keep that under control too, and I understand that. There's still a huge threat with that something could erupt at any moment. I understand that, I get that. But at the same time, they have to be multitasking, I suppose. And I know they're under-resourced. Don't get me wrong, they are under-resourced. So we do need more Gardaí, first of all, for the county. So obviously I'd be pushing very heavily. I've said about this many times. I know people probably say it has nothing really to do with it, but particularly I mentioned about 6 or 7 times in videos about Bombay Garda Station up this side of the county, up our Turbot side to the west of Cavan. It's a small rural Garda station, but they were talking about putting 3 Gardaí there full time to patrol the local area and stuff like that. Like, we need to consider reopening Garda stations in the county and making them full time open to have more Gardaí in different areas and stuff like that. We need to do it. We simply need to do it, and we need to up our game. And there has to be a game upped now the next few weeks. Particularly when the joint police, and I think they had the meeting already. It was the 4th of December. They had it. Yes, it'll be next month before the councils and the joint policing committee of the county, the Cavan policing committee has a meeting. But obviously I push it forward to Bombay and different things. And I would say Gatill Garda Station 2 should be brought into fully operation for everyday use, basically. So basically that would include more guards in the county. Because that's another solution that we need. We need more Gardaí. We need the stations to be open. We need to have stations open to the same thing to cover different areas. Like, it isn't good enough just having the Cavan Town Garda Station is open full time. Ballyconnor Garda Station is open full time. Beltobit's not. It's only open whatever a few days a week for signing passports and stuff. The same with even Clones Garda Station down Monaghan. That's in Monaghan, but take for example, that's only open a few times a week too for Killashandra. But that's what I'm saying. They should be all open. Like, what's the point in having Garda stations there? And just kind of rotting away there, not being used. And the thing about it is, I've said this time and time again too, that it's a tower back years ago they could fund to have Gardaí down, they could pay them and man the stations and stuff like that. It's a tower they can't simply do it in 2023. Like, it's beyond me how they can't do it. But I don't get it. But anyway, sorry I'm going on a tangent, everybody. But it's things that have to be said. So yeah, does anybody else have anything to say about it, or is there anybody from Cavan here that want to say anything about it, or have any views or opinion on it? Oh dear. I'm just making sure there's no other information coming out at the moment or anything. So, yeah, like I know there's a good bit of trouble up in Ballyshannon and stuff at the moment. Um, like it's a hard thing that like it's a tough it's a tough crisis in the country. That's what I deal with, and to try and get sorted, I suppose. That's what any way in shape or form. It's just that there's no debate in this country about anything. At the moment, you're just shut down. You said far right, it's far right, and all that crap, and that shuts people up. And you get what I'm saying. Like it's a big like even just people being housed in refugees accommodations and stuff like that. The weapon thing. There's huge money involved in that. Like we're talking multi-billion euro money, basically money laundering, basically going on to different groups, different hotels and stuff like it's a very big thing to try and stop and to take down. Um, like it's very well established. Let's put it that way. And I don't know. I do be frightened about what could happen. It's also everyone's getting to see them in face. I'm very flustered about the whole thing. It's like I just don't know. So yeah, we won't stay too much longer tonight anyway. Anyway. But as I keep saying, I've said this about a million times now at this stage, but I'm very grateful that nobody was injured. At least it's one consolation, as I say. Um, you know. But the one thing too, I say too, it's going to affect people going into the town. Like take for example, an elderly woman going in to do a Christmas shopping in Duns or Tesco in the town. They're not going to go in now to the town. Let's be fair, they'd be terrified. A woman in her 70s or even in her late 60s, they'd be terrified to go in. They would be mortified. To go into the town and go and do their shopping in case something like that happens to them. That somebody with a knife randomly running around the place. Like it's something that's going to affect business in the town too. It's going to make people frightened to go in. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And that's scary too. That people be frightened to go into their own county town too. You know. So I don't know. I simply don't know. So I'm taking off into space too at the same time. I have to try and be weighted at the moment. I don't think I'm weighted half the time this week at all. Particularly the last few hours, I haven't been weighted. To be honest, kind of been thinking in my head about different things, particularly about this. You know, it's kind of playing in my head about it. Um, so we have to see it now. Also, too, there was a lot of cows broken into in the town there. What day was that now? Sunday or so, I think, last Sunday. Last Saturday night, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I've heard something about it, like the stove was stuff and cows and stuff, and the smashed windows and stuff like that. I haven't heard anything about that. I would be totally honest. I only briefly heard about it. Um, I don't know. I was going to say, how do you have anything to do with that? But I don't know. I just thought about it there. I have to look into that. I have to see if they get anybody for that or what. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like there's huge money involved in this stuff, in direct fishing and stuff like that. Huge people making millions. Like it needs to be put a stop to. Like the people making a huge buck out of this. Um, and it has to be something done soon. Because let's be fair, like even though this incident in the town might not have anything to do with somebody from another country or whatever, it's still, it still goes back to what happened in Dublin a few weeks ago. Um, People coming into the country, immigration and stuff like that. People coming in. There's so many people from every corner of the world turning up here every day of the week, and it's not far right Oasis, but a lot of people are talking about it. Like I've been in taxis, I've been in shops and stuff, and people have noticed about it. People have said about it, and it's not been far. But these are only Joes that have only jobs and stuff like that. They're noticing things. And they're saying it. They're talking to people about it. They're saying they said it to me, even though they don't know. Some people wouldn't know. Maybe some of them would know who I am, but a lot of them wouldn't know who I am, and they're saying about how many people that are not from here are living in Cavan in the country. And it's been talked about a lot. It's been talked about in every pub in the country. Like Matty McGuire said it in the door, and he's right. It's been talked about literally everywhere at the moment, immigration and stuff. Like it has been. We have to face the facts that it's been talked about, and it's something that it's a big political issue. Well, not even a political; it's a society issue. It's a political issue. It's every issue under the sun, basically. That's what I mean. It's the biggest thing at the moment, and it has to be addressed before it's too late. Like again, it's just simply we're taking in far too many people, and it's not far away. There's not being wasted or anything. It's just stating facts that we're taking in far too many, and it has to be said. Yeah, like I don't know really what to make. Like you question everything basically in your head when you nowadays. Like I'm questioning everything like in life and stuff like that. Like yeah, it's it's crazy stuff. Like there's that much going on at the moment. Like it's Like, it's crazy stuff. But anyway, it's any other fun happening with anybody. Well, not really fun, but any crack happening with anybody. Anything else, I suppose, that can um, change the topic. That's without it. I know we probably shouldn't be changing the topic, but it's that too. There's that much going on. um, you know, I don't know if I'm even making sense, to be totally honest. Well, to be totally honest, I don't think it makes sense half of the time anyway, though. But I'd say we'll probably leave now and then or two, and I'll leave it there for tonight, probably. So, yeah. So, I say we leave it there, maybe. I think that's a good place to end it off. Yeah, like, people, like, it's only human nature, I suppose, too, for Westeros, like, big hotel owners and stuff. When they see money, money is too much to people nowadays. That's the saddest reality. To the people don't think about other stuff. They think about the money. Like, wherever the money is, people will follow. Nobody thinks about anything else nowadays. Just if you hear money and how much you're going to get and stuff like that, people are just far too interested in money and stuff like that. And as the old saying goes, money is the greatest evil. Money is truly the greatest evil. The devil's work. Um, like, money's just the ruin of the ruler of the world. That's what I way. Um, like, it's all to do with money. Like, it's up and insane now. And particularly when you see the amount of money and stuff, it's insane. It's crazy stuff. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. We'll probably be back if I can hear any more word or anything like that. I update people, of course. On the community post, if I need to, I come on live stream and talk. We were going to go live anyway tonight, even though what happened yesterday. So if nothing comes out before Wednesday, we'll be live anyway. So I go through if I hear anything else. Yeah, money does strange things. Like, exactly. Like, it's just pure evil. The money, like, money is just pure evil. To be fair, answer. Like, people take far too much of the money. At the end of the day, money's just an object. That's the way I see it. As long as you have enough to survive and stuff like that, that's the main thing. But people are just far too greedy. They want more and more and more. You should be just grateful for what you have. Instead of just wanting more. I know that's human nature. You always want more of money and stuff, that more wealth and stuff. But you just have to be happy for what you have. That's the way I see it, and be grateful for the little. If you have only a few bob a week, whatever, as long as you get you through the week, that's all that matters. But yeah, we leave it there. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it for being here tonight. So it's been a bit of a downer tonight. Obviously, with what happened last night, I'm not in the best state of mind, I suppose, thinking about these things. And obviously, it's weighing a lot on my mind and stuff. So we leave it there. I know, thank you, everyone. Again, apologies for being a bit off tonight about things. But anyway, we leave it there. Thank you, everyone. Take care and good night, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Good night.